abortion is abhorrent even for countries or for people who don't believe in God. So they have to numb our conscience, call it like Satan by a very beautiful name. So they chose the word reproductive health. You can go to the internet, to the YouTube, and then you can see in the YouTube the testimony of Hillary Clinton in the U.S. Congress, where she categorically said that reproductive health includes access to abortion. And she repeated that so many times in her speeches, including in the G8 summit in Canada, where she said, and if you have read the bill, this will be very familiar to you because it is in the bill. You cannot have maternal health without reproductive health, and reproductive health includes contraception and family planning and access to legal, safe abortions. Is there really such a thing as safe abortion? We will discuss that in a little while. And then Hillary Clinton also said, the choice to carry or kill an unborn child should be available for all women. Isn't it absurd? Do we really have a right to kill somebody if you don't like that person? As the streamer says in the March for Life in America, should the innocent baby be put to death for the sin or convenience of the partner? I spoke in one of the Catholic universities in Legazpi City, and they told me that 1 week before I came, they had a speaker, a human rights lawyer, who told them, you know, a baby is an intruder to the womb. So because a baby is an intruder, you can take away the baby. Pwede mo siyang tanggalin. And then I said, excuse me, why should a baby be an intruder to the womb? Did a baby just jump into the womb? Lumukso lang ba siya doon? Wala namang kasalanan ng baby. We all know that even just a minute of sexual intercourse can result to pregnancy. And then when it results to pregnancy, we call it now unwanted pregnancy or unplanned mistimed pregnancy. Then you want to get away the baby, to abort the baby, to kill the baby. Then they call it responsible parenthood. I really think that is the height of irresponsibility, no? When you cannot even take a stand for the consequences of your actions, no? And you don't have to go far. You go to the website of Ligaya, and then they post on their Facebook site, no? Why on Facebook? They know that many of those on Facebook are young people. And so therefore, we can say that their target are young people, which are actually the main target of this diabolical reproductive health bill. No? So you can see there, mga ligtas na paraan ng pampapalaglag. In English, sister, that is ways of getting safe abortion. No? So, my goodness, they detail it there for all the world to see. And they teach about abortion. And then, you know, in Aten de la Salle, I think, I had a face-off with the executive director of Ligaya. And then she was making an appeal of repeating to the students there and faculty. And she said, you know, there are more than 500,000 women in the Philippines who are going into abortion. So we need to legalize abortion to save the women. When it was my turn to speak, then he said, you're a doctor, I said. You do not know that there is no such thing as safe abortion because you are killing a baby, no? And I said, if that is your logic, that because there are so many women who are committing the crime of abortion, and then we just legalize this crime so that we will be able to solve the problem of abortion, then why don't we legalize murder? So there will be no more people who will kill. So you mean to say we also legalize theft or robbery, so we will solve this problem? I mean, their logic is really very flawed, no? I also faced Risa Montiveros at the Pro-RH Ateneo de Manila University. My goodness, I almost cried at Ateneo de Manila. First, the one who invited me said, I want to warn you, this is a Pro-RH forum. And then, when I spoke, they would always do their hand like that. They would want that we deliver only for a very short time. Because of course they know that if they will give us a long time, everything that they say will be demolished. So I saw Risa Montiveros who said 800,000, binagdagan pa niya. Sabi ko, where did you get that data? No? Abortion is a time in the Philippines. So logically, we don't have data. You mean if you're an abortionist, you will keep a data of how many abortions you did? That would be self-incriminating. So I said, where did you get the data? But indeed, granting without admitting that that is true, then why should we solve a problem with another problem, no? So they're all actually lies and lies and lies, no? And when a pro-lifer wrote them, na tangtangin nyo, no? Tanggalin, take it off from their website, my goodness, their reply was this, no? Sobra pa-humble. Look at this. Look at the pictures. I know that these pictures in my slides are not good to look at. I don't like to look at them too. It took me years before I could put them in my slides. But I want you to look at them. Let us show them, no? In an abortion conference, one of the things that they don't like in pro-lifers is showing pictures of aborted babies. They don't like it. Why don't they like it? Because they're always telling people it's just blood or a blood of tissue. So when we show aborted babies, we're showing that it's not just blood or blood of tissue. It's an actual human being that we are killing. So look at that, it only occupies 2 fingers. The one in front only occupies 3 fingers. But you can see, it's already a complete human being, no? Do you know that even before the mother knows that she's pregnant, the heart of the baby is already beating? So that is why the symbol of pro-life is these 2 little tiny feet. This is the size of the feet of a 10-week-old baby. So you mean to say if they're very tiny, they're not yet human beings, no? It's so absurd. And then we need people to know that it's not only a baby you are killing, no? It's really the worst murder of all, because you are killing a baby, your own baby, the most defenseless human being of all. And to the mother, to the woman who is performing abortions, overwhelming scientific evidence will tell us that there are so many side effects. Was this the Catholic Church who made this? Aba, hindi po. This is contained in contraceptive technology, which is the Family Planner's Bible. And one of that is a much higher risk of developing breast cancer. And in fact, in a research by the National Cancer Institute of the United States of America, they found that women performing abortions before the age of 18 increase the risk of getting breast cancer by 150%. Women performing abortions after the age of 30 increase the risk of getting breast cancer by 110%. The overall risk is 50%. Why? Because science tells us that the breast is a part of the body of a woman which is not yet fully developed. Why? Because God intended it for a more noble purpose, which is breastfeeding. That is why when a woman gets pregnant, there are tissue or cell differentiation that happens in the breast. Because science has also proven that there are many malignant cells in the breast of the woman. But when you get pregnant, during the 3rd quarter of pregnancy, there are tissue or cell differentiation that happens in the breast. And when you abort the baby, or they call it termination of pregnancy, you see, they call it by beautiful names. Abortion, termination of pregnancy. So when you terminate the pregnancy, you don't allow the tissue or cell differentiation to take place, thus increasing the number of cells susceptible to breast cancer. And of course, this is proven by many scientific studies. One of that by Patrick Carroll, director of the Pension and Population Research Institute in London, which found that the best predictor for breast cancer in Great Britain is actually abortion. And you can see a lot of materials on this on the internet. And you can also go to www.abortionbreastcancer.com, and then this is the site of the Abortion Breast Cancer Coalition in the United States of America. And you will find there so many researches which will prove the relationship between abortion and breast cancer. Now, we go to the World Health Organization Manual on Reproductive Health. You know, the World Health Organization Manual says a lot about reproductive health. And it's important for us to know because the manuals in the bill and in the materials that they produce in the Philippines, they only quote the first paragraph or sometimes only one sentence or phrase in the paragraph. But it actually says many things about that. And it says, among others, this implies that people are able to have a satisfying sex life, but wait until I show you the research that use of contraceptives will actually destroy your sex life because it results to the loss of libido or loss of sexual pleasure. And they have the capability to reproduce and the freedom to decide when and how often to do so. And these terms are actually full of double meaning. So kung ayaw mo, when you want to continue the pregnancy, you can just remove it, no? And then it says, implicit in this last condition are the rights of men and women to access to other methods of their choice for the regulation of fertility. Alam niyo po, ang fertility regulation, if you look at the manuals, they define it as interrupting unwanted pregnancy. You will notice that their definition are not straight to the point. You know that when we were in grade 1, we were told that when you define a word, you don't repeat the words. Pero in here, in the reproductive health bill and in the other manuals, it is very vague. Why? Because they are hiding something. So they define fertility regulation as interrupting unwanted pregnancies. And please let me tell you that interrupting unwanted pregnancies or fertility regulation or menstrual regulation or even unwanted pregnancies, miscarried pregnancies, unplanned pregnancies are actually euphemisms for abortion on demand. And I know this very well because when I was still at the Department of Health, our family planning nurse and doctor were trained for a course sent abroad to train on a course fertility regulation and menstrual regulation. Of course, when they came back, they confirmed it's abortion. And in fact, they were telling us that when they came back, they already were carrying the manual vacuum aspiration instruments, which are actually abortion devices. I said, did you really do that? He said, yes, of course, because it was training, no? And then he said, my goodness, the children were very big already, but they had to do it because it was a training. It's horrible. Of course, they've been doing that for a very long time already. Now, if you go to the bill, they define reproductive health as a constellation of methods, techniques, and services. So it's actually encompassing. Please know, I have a copy of this manual because I came from the Department of Health. Trainees manual called Competency-Based Family Planning Training for Volunteer Health Workers. And on page 6, it says categorically that since the Philippines is a signatory of the 1994 International Conference on Population and Development, it has thus adopted the WHO and global definition of reproductive health. And if you go to the next page, they categorically include abortion under reproductive health services. Now, who is lying? Sila o tayo? The Catholic Church has never been a liar. Now, let us go section by section in the House Bill 4244. So, hindi na po yung mga previous, ito na po yung bagong number. What is new? Only the number. So, it's practically the same.